All right, Steelers Nation. That was absolutely not what we were looking forward to, man. Obviously, man, losing in prime time 19-17 to the Cincinnati Bengals, ultimately dropping our fourth game in a row. No bueno, man. Obviously, we know we already got the postseason ticket punched. Thank goodness. Because, yeah, down the stretch, man, we kind of got beat up a little bit, man. But let's talk about it, man. You already know the drill. Hit that like button one time for the culture, and don't forget to subscribe if you are new to the channel. I mean, obviously, we know there's plenty of ways we can go with this. The layup is, hey, man, fire him. We got you. All right. After that, it's, man, we just suck. We're not good enough. Blow it up. All right. That works, too. And then you kind of got there were some silver linings in it. I'm sure those people work as well, man. But from my perspective, flat, not the best execution, and missed opportunities. You know, when you're talking about the amount of drop passes that we had, critical opportunities, especially late in the game. We know the one guy had multiple drops, right? Not even going to bring his name up, but he had multiple drops tonight. That hurts you offensively, man. We know at the end of the game, shoot, on the guy to have it play, it hits the other guy right in the hands. Got to make these plays, man. Because the funny part was this, man, in the midst of all of the up and down, the nonsense that was kind of taking place where we were feeling like, what is this? We still have a chance to win the game. Think about that, right? As bad as it was, as crazy as it was, as he sucks, that coach is bad, this, that. These dudes literally had a chance to win the game off of a field goal. Not even a touchdown, a field goal. So that's the frustrating part. I'm sure the others will tell you, man, it's terrible, sky's falling. I'm literally saying to myself, so you mean to tell me offense struggled for 3 quarters and it's a field goal game right now? Defensively, right? The so bad, overrated, fired terror lost in, man. The defense ain't doing their job. It was 19 points. It's the Cincinnati Bengals. But like I said, man, I definitely understand it, baby. I definitely do, because we want results. We want the wins, and that's the other part of it. So I just think that you're in that weird space right now, man. We're going to find out very soon how this playoff situation plays out. And then from there, man, I think that opens up the door to a lot of things, man, just depending on how, the organization wants to go with that. To me personally, though, if it's up to me, man, I look at it and I say, man, you still got to execute better. Regardless of what coach you break in here, is he catching that pass or not? Right? Now, we can talk about, well, do you discipline that player? Okay, cool. Sit the player down. Don't play him anymore. You tell me the guy who's going to come in here and play for him. That's part of the part what is in season. Off season, man, yeah. You look at free agency, you look at the draft and all the other stuff. But in season, it's like, yo, we're kind of in a bind right now, man. And it just sucks that, towards the end of the season, you drop 4 in a row. 3 of these teams, legit, quality, high caliber teams, right? We talk about the number 1 AFC team, Chiefs, the potential number 1 NFC team, not potential number 1, but a clinching division champ Eagles team, right? We talk about the Ravens. Obviously, they were able to clinch their division today. Shout out to the Browns. I can't do anything right. But, when you think about those 3 teams, it's like, man, 3 teams like that, short span, there is a certain, from a professional standpoint at least, you're going to tip your cap to some of that and say, man, that was a gauntlet. Regardless of what fans, regardless of what the media might say, we know what that is. This one right here is frustrating because the perception around the Bengals is what? They suck on defense. They're a bad team. But as we said, since we've played them, right, when we scored the 44 points, we're 38 points since we had the touchdown on defense. They hadn't given up over 30 points since then. And when you watch how they played tonight, it was kind of what we've been seeing, man. They get a little bit hot every once in a while. They got a pass rusher. Obviously, Trey Hendrickson, he had a big game tonight, 3.5 sacks. Was absolutely had my man Dan Moore in the blender. He was in the mixer tonight, man. It was not what you wanted to see, man. But that's them. We say, they got the 1 pass rusher. They're a little streaky in the back end, but you can get after them. Yeah, you can get after them if you have time. So, once again, man, here we are. Right? O-line. We're going to put it on them. We're going to get on them. And it's like, man, we could point the fingers all we want. And I'm sure, man, everybody that does point the finger in some way, shape, or form will be validated. Because right now, there isn't anybody on this team or even coaching staff from my perspective, at least that I'm looking at, and I'm saying, oh yeah, man, you're absolved of this. This has nothing to do with you. No, all of them got something to do with it, man. Now the problem is, who do you hold accountable? How do you want to put the blame? Oh, more of him versus more of him. That's for y'all. Y'all get that one, man. But like I said, from my perspective, man, it's frustrating because I still see how close we are, right on the cusp of it. Because the Cincinnati Bengals team, newsflash, they're trying to get into the playoffs, right? That's their fifth game in a row that they've won, man. So we know that, hey, that's a tough team as well. That's also hot, playing well right now. Defensively, they hadn't given up, like I said, over 30 points since we last played them, man. So across the board, that team had been a lot better. And for us, the flip side was what? Offensively, we've been kind of like in our own way, self-inflicted, not enough execution across the board, and some questionable calls, man. But as a whole, that's the thing where you're just like, man, you feel like if you're the type of team that we like to fancy ourselves as being, right, true contenders, then we feel like, yeah, you should still find a way to get up out of the stadium with a win. I thought it was going to happen, man. I was like, okay, I see Boz, he's gearing up. We're about to get this completion, walk up out of here. We're going to laugh about how we won 20 to, 19 on some weird stuff. But unfortunately, didn't execute enough. But the beautiful part is this, man. You get another opportunity next week, right? We can mope, the sky's falling, man. We suck, this, that, and the third. But the weird thing, like I just said, it's a scenario where that Bengals team doesn't even make it to the postseason. We've already punched that ticket. You went out there next week, you're either going to be facing potentially a Texans team on the road, or you're going to Baltimore, who we're familiar with, man. But either way, with that, you win one of them games, we're going to look back at this little span and be like, yeah, don't nobody care about that. So that is the beautiful part for the guys, man. But the other side is this. We know they're for certain trending in the wrong direction when you're dropping 4 in a row heading into the postseason. Now, quality of opponent from my perspective, I think there's some good teams, man. Or at least they're playing good at that time. You said that Bengals team, we could talk about their record. Man, this is how many games in a row they have just won now. Think about it. Hot team, right? So, like I said, man, that's kind of how I view it right here. The big thing that I would say is this, man. We're healthy. Gotta have the health. We missed Dante Jackson, I felt like, man. When you talk about Corey Chase versus Jamar Chase, man, we were double teaming Chase. We had Minkah Fitzpatrick over top at times, but Jamar Chase is a heck of a player. So even with that double, press him up, 2-man, safeties over top, blitzing and things like that, mixing up the coverage of some of the things we talked about in terms of how you attack this Bengals offense to kind of make them uncomfortable, make them off rhythm. The Bengals also did a great job of reacting to some of that, man, getting the ball out faster. But the flip side was this, man, all that yardage that they had, right, the 300 and something plus yards they had, the 38 time possession, the 22 minutes, they were 1 of 4 in the red zone. They could not score in the red zone. Multiple opportunities for them. They could not get it done. We talk about the philosophy, right? You can get your yardage, but when we condense this field, can you score? Can you execute? The proof was in the pudding. As bad as it is, as bad as it was 19 points. So that's the part where I'm like, don't tell me it's broke. Don't tell me we're not getting the stops. Don't tell me that doesn't work. It's 19 points versus the Cincinnati Bengals offense. All the hoopla, all the Joe Burrow, man, cooking, all the Jamar Chase cooking, the T. Higgins cooking. It's 19 points, man. You tell me in today's NFL where 19 points can't get you up out of a stadium. I mean, it is what it is. So that's the part for me where I'm looking and I'm saying, once again, we could do the whole doom and gloom, sky is falling, or you look and you say, man, if you don't catch this, if you don't make that tackle, if you don't hold on to this ball on this punt return, it's a different feel. But that's the part of it, though, man. You don't get the redo in the game, per se. But like I said, we're fortunate enough that we've already done enough of the prerequisite work. And that's the part when you're talking about this team. We're like, yo, what are they? Well, they are a 10-win team. They are what their record is right now, man. Now let's see what they do in the postseason. But it is crazy, man, to just think that we are literally coming into the postseason after dropping 4 games in a row. Granted, no weirdo losses, but it's still 4 games in a row that we've taken L's on, man. So, like I said, man, that's kind of my thoughts on it, man. It'll be interesting to see who we end up matching up with. Oddly enough, I'm like, yo, send us to Baltimore, man. Because at least I feel like if we go to Baltimore, it's going to guarantee that we're pissed off and we're showing up hungry, ready to go, completely locked in. You're not second guessing, overlooking, or anything in between. Not saying that you should, but I'm just going off of the results. When you drop 4 in a row, man, you start questioning all type of stuff, right? So to me, I think, man, you go to Baltimore, as soon as that team pops up on the schedule, you're like, all right, bro, we ain't talking to nobody this week. You know what it is, man. Hide the women and children, man. You know we got to lock in right here. I think if it's Houston, we're going to be saying, hey, man, they kind of treading in the wrong direction too, man. Hey, we all right. I don't even want to entertain that. So even though I think Houston is the better matchup, I feel like, man, Baltimore is going to get us the desired result that we want in having this team show up and actually play with all the little urgency and all the little focus on the details. And don't tell me coaching. I mean, like I said, I can hear you with the coaching part, and that's all well and good. But when the coach is out there catching the football, when the coach is out there throwing the football, when the coach is out there blocking, when the coach is out there running back the punt, then I will hear you, man. But until I hear that, I can't go overboard on this coaching narrative. I can't, man, because I'm looking at the dudes that are out there on that field. And like I said, man, maybe that's my personal experiences, right? I'm from the cloth where, yeah, you go out there, you're responsible, man. Don't tell me, hey, I got the ball in my hands, so I get a chance to make this tackle, but because I don't, let me go point the finger and put it on the guy that's on the sideline. What sense does that make? So to me, that's why I look at these players and I'm like, yo, y'all know what y'all are capable of. You know how to make these plays. You've already done this routinely. Otherwise, you're not at this level, right? So that's the part where it's like, man, how do we get back to the basics of that, right? Just the simple basics. Throw, catch, hold on to it, tackle. Nothing special, nothing outside the ordinary. That's what we're trying to get back to. So we'll see, man. Sometimes, man, you got to go through a little wake-up call. Hopefully this is it. Otherwise, I hate to say it, it's going to be Cancun on 3. We don't need that. Nah. We don't need that. We don't need that. So, like I said, you guys let me know your thoughts, though, on this 4th loss in a row. 19-17 to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. And, yeah, who do you want to see in the postseason? Going to Baltimore? Going to Houston? Let me know. Either way, man, appreciate y'all for tapping in. Don't forget to hit that like button one time for the culture and subscribe if you are new to the channel. Oh, yeah. And I hate to say it, but I got to. Their stars play better than our stars. Offense and defense. If you look at who we call our star players on offense versus who the Bengals call their star players on offense. Just look at the production. You look at who we call our star players on defense versus who they call their star players on defense and look at their production. That can't be the case. Can't be. And as I told you too, going back to the Eagles game, when we aren't the more physical, the more productive, the more dominant team in the trenches, offensively and defensively, we are going to struggle because we're not designed to just out athlete you on the perimeter, or we got the quarterback that's going to throw it 40 plus 50 times, the Joe Burrow type. Nah, we are built inside out. We're built in the trenches. So when we match up and we're not the more physical, the more dominant team there, you see the strain that it puts on everything else. And yeah, I thought that also showed up again tonight, unfortunately, as well, man. But like I said, man, those are kind of my thoughts on the game, man. So we will see where we go from here. But like I said, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, baby. Peace.